Hi everyone, my name is Jillian. So they say that when you hit your 30s, it is inevitable that you will pick up a new hobby. Some of the more trendy hobbies right now are pickleball, making sourdough bread, and gardening, which is a hobby I've chosen to pick up. So today I'm going to demonstrate how to propagate a plant with rooting hormone in soil. So first we have the plants we'll be propagating. These are snake plants, also called mother-in-law's tongue because they're so hard to kill. Along with supplies, you have an empty plastic pot. Make sure it has good drainage holes. A pair of clean, sharp scissors to do your cutting. We have some water, and then I have the rooting hormone. It's a powder. And then we have our soil, obviously, and let's get started. So first you're going to create your environment for your pot, which for mine is going to be a pot filled with soil. I like to do a mix of potting soil, orchid bark, and perlite, and I mix all three of those equal parts. And now, before you add your plant with your rooting hormone, I like to get the water moistened so that the rooting hormone does not get washed away from our propagation. Okay, so that's all moistened. Now I like to take a little tray for the rooting hormone and just sprinkle some in there. Keeps it more sanitary inside the jar. Now for our snake plants, I have a couple of clippings. We're going to take a couple more. So for the snake plant, it's a good idea to make a V cut at the bottom. That way there's more area for roots to form. So once that's done, we have our few clippings here. I'm just going to make a couple of holes in the soil for each clipping. Okay. Then you're going to take your clipping, you're going to dip the bottom in water, and then you're going to just get some rooting hormone on there, so it should look like that. And then you're just going to stick it in the soil. Once I found out about the propagation loophole, that just made my hobby take off even more. As a single mom on a budget who loves plants, I am all for creating new plants out of the plants that I already have. So I do this with a lot of my plants. And it definitely takes some patience, but I think worth it in the end. Okay, so here's our last cutting. Just gonna dip that in the water like the others. Get enough rooting hormone on there. Okay. Now it will help your chances of rooting increase if you place these propagation cuttings in a sort of greenhouse environment. And that could be a plastic bag over the top, it could be an actual greenhouse. I do both. I have a mini greenhouse that I keep in my garage, and I move it out when I have a lot of cuttings to root. And I've also done the cheap plastic bag method as well, and both work good. So I'm just gonna take one more, just so we have a nice full plant. Okay. And I'm just using a mini shovel. You can use whatever to make the holes. And there you have it. So she looks a little sparse right now, but in a few months it'll look like one of these. So I hope that this video was helpful, and thank you guys for watching.